Good evening, and thank you so much for clicking on this video, and welcome back to my channel and into the woods. So it is a Wednesday night in July, and it's a lovely warm evening. So I was planning on doing a couple of overnighters Monday, Tuesday, but the weather was horrendous. It rained really heavy. I did camp Monday night, but as I say, Tuesday everything was so wet I just called it a day and decided to come out when the sun had come out, which is right now. So I'm back in the woods. I'm on my own. Unfortunately, Jill cannot join us, which is a real shame, but you'll see her again real soon. So the plan of the action tonight is I'm going to build a small tarp shelter and get the kettle on. It is about 6:30, and then I'm just going to chill out for a couple of hours before putting up my shelter. This evening I'm going to be sleeping in the Tigris backwoods bungalow, which I really love. Big fan of that tent. I don't have any trekking poles today, so I'm going to be using some local sticks to hold that up. So it'd be very much a very simple, almost like tarp shelter, but using the tent rather than just the tarp itself. So I'll be putting that together as well. For food, I've got a British 24-hour MRE, so I'll have a little look at that, see what's in there. Got a couple of beers, and it's just a really beautifully warm evening. So I will have a small fire in the firebox, and yeah, just going to enjoy the night. So come along with me and enjoy today's rambles. Simple shelter, ridge line, and then 4 points down to the floor, a couple of sticks to keep it high up, and then just tied off the back here to give it a bit more height at the back. Now the plan is actually to put the tent underneath here as well. It fits really nicely, so I've got a bit of double protection in case the rain comes, and I do want to keep the door open as well, just to keep an eye on what's going on around here. Again, it's a really quiet woods, but you never know, so if it makes you feel more comfortable having the door open, then so be it. So I'm going to have a little brew up, and as always, you've seen this a few times, I've got the little paraffin stove. Use this in the rain as well, and it was absolutely perfect. I've kind of dialed in how to set it up now, how to use it, how to light it without there being too much smoke. So I think I'm starting to get that really, drilled in, which is awesome. It is heavy, we've had this discussion. It's a heavy bit of kit, but it's actually a real nice thing to use. I wouldn't take it on a hike, but out in the woods, and it's really wonderful. So yeah, there's the paraffin stove. I'm going to get the kettle on and have a little brew and have a chill out for a bit. So we're going to be sleeping in the Tigris backwoods bungalow this evening. So I'm going to set this up. I'm actually going to set it up underneath the tarp. Normally I'd set it up the tent first, and then I set up the tarp. Because I got a little bit early, I just threw up the tarp first. So we're going to throw this up. We don't have any trekking poles for this. I'm just going to use a couple of sticks to throw this up as well. So yeah, here goes. Going to stick it on a time lapse and throw it up. Here we go. So here you have it, the one Tigris backwards bungalow. Love this little tent so much. I've had it for quite a few months now, since last summer I believe I got this, so it's been about a year. I don't get to use it that often, so I've left it open, and then I've also got the tarp on top because I want to try and sleep with it open tonight as well, just for my own, you know, well-being. I just like to be able to look out. So if it does rain, I can always pull the sort of the front over as well, but with the tarp on top, it's really not that much of a problem. Cool. It doesn't really have many features, as we've seen this one before. It's real quite simple, but I absolutely love it. So I'm going to pull the vents out at the back as well, because it's a nice warm night, so let that breeze come through. So I'm not actually going to set the bedding up just yet. I'm going to wait until it's a little bit later, and then I'll set it up just before I go to bed. It's real simple. It's just an air mattress and a sleeping bag, so there's nothing fancy for the bed setup. It really only takes a few minutes. So I'm going to have some food now. I've got a British MRE. It's a 24-hour. Obviously I'm not going to eat all of it, that's quite a lot of food. But let's have a quick look in there and see what we have for dinner tonight and for breakfast in the morning. Before I open up this MRE bag, if I could just ask you to like this video, subscribe to the videos, share the video with your pals as well. It really does help out. I don't post a lot, maybe 5 to 10 videos per year max. But when I do, you'll be notified as soon as one comes out. So if you could just do that, that'd be absolutely wicked. And you never know, if I get a few more subscribers, I might even do a cheeky little giveaway. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and see the channel grow. Thanks. So we've got a 24-hour MRE. I'm going to open it up, we'll go through it together. These are always really exciting. It's like a mystery bag every single time. Even if you've had 100 of them, there's always going to be a mystery again. So let's have a quick look, see what we've got for tea tonight and breakfast in the morning. Alright, what we got, let's have a quick nosy. So starting off, as always, there's the massive accessories bag. I'm definitely giving all this away. I've got a bit of a collection now. If you want the drinks that come in these accessory bags, send me a DM, send me a comment below, give me your address, I'll stick them in a second class envelope, you'll get them eventually. Alright, main course. Probably should get me glasses for this one, shouldn't I? So pasta bolognese, I had that one yesterday, so I'm not going to have that for tea. I'll save that for another day. Chicken curry, potato and rice, we're definitely having that one. Really good flavours, that chicken curry, potatoes, rice. Yeah, over the moon with that. So that's going to be tea tonight. We've got a vanilla flavour cake. Oh, that could be really nice. We'll have that with a cup of tea. Or a cheeky hot chocolate perhaps. All day breakfast, an absolute winner. So breakfast tomorrow, all day breakfast. We all know what these are. Generally going to be baked beans, probably some sausages, maybe some sort of weird egg as well. I can feel the sausages in there. Absolute winner. So breakfast, all day breakfast tomorrow. Oh, what's this? Mixed fruit, something or other. Some sort of gel or juice. That looks wicked. Yeah, we'll save that. Hot chocolate, that's for tonight. Another drinks powder. A biscuit that says biscuit brown. Again, I had some of these yesterday, Monday, dry as anything, but really good with a cup of tea. Not going to have them today. We'll hold out for those ones, have them another time. Maybe when I come out and do a little day camp. Some more bits and bobs in here. What we got? More peanuts. Not really a fan of them. Juice. Water purifiers. I'll hold on to those. They're handy to have. another bar. Bear with me. I'm going to get my glasses. Life is so much easier when you're wearing your glasses. Oh, okay, so exotic fruit nougat. Well, nice. And a fruit flapjack. That could be dessert. It'd be a toss-up between that and the vanilla cake. I'll make that decision a little bit later. What else we got? Anything else in there? Matches. Jam. And chili sauce. I'm probably going to stick that in with the curry. I do like my food quite spicy, so I'm going to throw that in with the curry as well. So there we have it. Tonight's tea is curry and probably going to be vanilla cake with a hot chocolate. Got a couple of beers as well to have. I'll show you those in a minute. Alright, let's get this area cleared up and then maybe start putting some food on. Hope you can hear me over the sounds of the primer stove. It's very loud, isn't it? It's like a little jet rocket. Okay, so I've got a couple of beers for this evening as well. Bit of a fan of the Brewdog. These are the non-alcohol ones because you want to keep a clear head while you're in the woodland, that's for sure. So I've got Brewdog's Lost AF, quite relevant considering I'm in the woods. I've got their Elvis. This one's really nice, it's got a bit of a citrusy flavour to it. Quite like that one, that's an IPA. And then finally I've got their Hazy AF. Alright, again, quite like that one as well. That's another IPA. So I've got a couple of those, keep me company. Got some TV to watch on my phone there. I haven't really decided whether to have a fire or not. See if it gets a bit chillier later on. If it does, I'll make a small one. I've got a firebox and I've got some prepped wood, so I won't be having to prep anything up. But I might not. I really might not. It's a really lovely warm evening today. It's mid-July and the weather has definitely changed. It was very wet last week and today is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, might not have a fire. We'll see. Right, food is ready. Let's give this a go, shall we? Nice and hot. How I like to do mine is I boil it in the bag on the top of the stove, bring the water up to the boil, and then I take it off the boil and just sort of leave it for sort of 5 minutes, turn it around if it doesn't fit fully in the pot, and then I just let it sit in the water for, you know, for sort of 5 minutes for it to get hot throughout. These ready meals, they don't need to be super hot. You don't need to actually physically boil them, just need to bring them up to temperature because they can be eaten cold. You're best you don't think about that. If you start thinking about how is it preserved, I won't worry about it so much. Oh, it smells nice. Yeah, it smells really good. It's quite stodgy. It's a lovely flavour of curry. There's no spice to it. Thankfully, got a spice sachet, so let's stick that in. Oh, wowzers. I do like my food spicy. Much better. So this is the British Army chicken curry rice alongside a Brewdog beer. Lovely evening. Catch you in a bit. I think now's a good time as any to get the bed ready. So for me bedding tonight, I've got, it's a silver foil mat, it's like a bubble wrap, and it's actually a sun deflector for a car windscreen, but it's just the right length to cover sort of my torso down to my legs, and it's a bit lighter than the camping ones that you get. It's just a simple silver mat. I really like that, and also a lot cheaper than the ones that are specifically made for sort of camping mats and that. I think I paid £3 or £4 for it, if that. On top of that, I've got a Decathlon 4 clays air mattress, packs up nice and small. This is a summer mattress, it's not a winter mattress. So if you are camping out in the winter, I get something a bit more with a better thermal rating. These don't have any thermal rating. As far as I know, it's really just a summer air mattress. The other secret to these is don't over inflate them as well. Blow them up until it's sort of just before firm, because if you over inflate them, they're very echoey. If you lie on it and you roll around, you can hear the sort of the echoing sound. So I wouldn't overflate them too much. Let's get this blown up. Okay, and then I also have my sleeping bag, which lives in a dry bag. Sleeping bags, they're really expensive. You can pay a lot of money for these things, especially if you bought like a lightweight down, 4 seasons, super light winter, whatever sleeping bag. You want to protect them. So I always use a really high quality waterproof bag. This is one of the things I take a lot of care of. Most of your other gear you can dry it out, you can repair it if it gets wet. It's not the end of the world. You can wash them. But sleeping bags, you really have to look after them. So again, this is the 4 clays. This is the winter bag. I know we're not in winter, but it's nicer to be warm than it is to be chilly in the morning. Where are we? Up that way. It's a mummy style bag with a really generous hood at the top and a lovely foot box at the other end. Once it fluffs up, the foot box sits a little bit higher than the rest of the bag. It's really generous. You don't have that pushing down on the toes that can be a bit uncomfortable. I'll put the seasons rating for this up here somewhere. It's written on the bag, but on the stuff bag that it came in, but so I don't really use the stuff bag anymore. I use the waterproof bag. And then my pillow, I'm not a fan of inflatable pillows. So I use this from Black's Millets, the one in the high street. Pillow, it's just a regular pillow. It did have all the foam was sort of scrunched up when I first got it. So my mother-in-law Heather, she got the sewing machine out, we did, and we restuffed it so it's a bit softer. That's really nice as well. Bit of a comfort, probably unnecessary, but a bit of a comfort anyway. There you go. So there's my bedding for tonight. And as you can see in this tent, as you can see, we've got the bed here, and then there's loads of space at the back. You could get a second person in there comfortably without gear, but there's plenty of space in here for gear. So it's really nice, and again the length is very generous as well. I've got plenty of room at either end of the sleeping bag, and I'm going to sleep close to the mesh here to try and avoid as much condensation as possible. Plus it gives me a lovely view in the morning when I wake up. I'm going to wake up to the woodland. And then if I do get any visitors during the night, I might be able to get a little peek, bit of video as well. You never know your luck. Alright, so there's my bedding for tonight. Just going to enjoy the little bit of sunset that I can just make out in the trees, and I'll come back to you in a bit. Getting a little bit chilly now, so get a fire on. Add a bit of warmth to the evening before I go to bed. It's about 9:15. Yeah, it's 9:15, and the sun is it's still light up in the sky. The sun has set, but it's still very light up in the sky. Don't think it gets dark until gone 10 o'clock. So enjoy a fire for a bit. Good morning. Look at these pasty white legs. Wowzers. Alright, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. I've got my coffee on. It's all ready. And I've got my breakfast just heating up in my little pot there as well. Give that a couple more minutes. Slept well. Just the noise of the animals in the woods. Something did come up a bit close to me with me tent, maybe a monkjack or something similar, but then it ran as fast as it could. Gave me a bit of a fright, I won't lie to you. But apart from that, it was a really lovely night. So that's the one Tigris tent. Again, it's been absolutely brilliant. I love the openness of this tent. I love the fact that you can keep the front porch open and see into the woods. It's kind of not dissimilar to like a tarp setup, or if you like hammock camping and you like the openness of your sleep setup. I think it offers that, but with a little bit more rain protection if you need that. Yeah, so certainly gets a big thumbs up from me. Highly recommended. This sun is so bright. Check this out. The way that sun is coming through the canopy is just amazing. I really must get myself a tripod as well. You don't need to keep seeing these pearly whites. Wow, I apologise for those bad boys, that's for sure. Maybe I get a bit of tan. Alright, so that's my video for this week. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for clicking on it. Give me a thumbs up, give me some comments, shares and subscribes. It does help. So I don't make a lot of content, but when I do, you'll be the first to see it if you're a subscriber. So thanks again, and I might catch you again next week. Thanks very much. Cheerio.